Welcome back to the channel. We got to get into some things from a therapist perspective, but tell it straight up. Okay. Now, recently, Nelly and Ashanti were in the news promoting their show, right? Love, spin the block. What happens when exes get back together and they find love, or was love ever gone? But do women end up settling for what they want? Sometimes as marriage, sometimes as a baby. Because looking at the relationship, the rebrand, okay, the rebrand. A baby will change some things. Okay. So many people want the mommy title, the wifey title, having a baby, but is your man's on board? Okay. Is your man's on board? Now make sure you hit that like and y'all subscribe to this video. Come into the chat. Let's talk about it. Now we know based off of nostalgia. No, everybody wants them to get back together. And there seems like there's a lot of love there. Just a lot of I want to be with you. I support you. I love you. Damn, girl. Okay. But I already have some kids. Okay. My kids is grown. Okay. My kids is grown. Okay. Now this is for Ashanti, this is her first baby. But what happens when you have kids or want to have kids? It's your first child and your partner has already done the kid thing. They kids are adults. Um, do you still have kids anyway? And what does that look like? Even if it's the other way around, um, and the man has not had any kids, but the woman has kids. And oftentimes, because of it's a blended family, because we want something of our own, another child comes into play to blend our family, right? Okay. Now, in this new, reality show that I started watching, it's supposed to be Ashanti having her next chapter, pregnancy, family as a progression. Okay, but maybe not with Nelly. And so they have a child, and he says, "Oh, I'm not all that baby. I love you, girl. I know you want to have a baby. That's all you. Okay. I'm gonna love you down. I'm gonna support you. But call me when the baby is up, they up walking, talking, doing some things, not needing to change them diapers, not crying at night. Okay. Call me when that's over. And is that fair? Do you think sometimes people have conversations about, hey, I know you want a child, but this is going to be what my role is. And if you're okay with that, then yeah, let's do it. But I'm not going to be doing all that stuff at night. I'm not going to be walking it. That's going to be you. Okay. And I think in the news, Nelly has gone he's a bad person. But really, sometimes people have conversations and boundaries in their relationship, and maybe that was a boundary. Okay, a negotiable. Is it okay for one partner to take on more responsibility of taking care of a child than the other? Okay. I have kids myself, and there have been seasons where, due to different things, career, life changes, illness, you're going to go through seasons where one person might be putting in more in the relationship than the other person. But oftentimes people focus on, well, I'm doing more than you. You're not doing enough. And it has them go this way. Because I think people focus so much on what the other person is not doing, but maybe how, yes, I'm taking on more of the kid responsibilities. And maybe right now you're focused on the career that's building us up. Okay. But instead of focusing on how both these roles pour into our relationship, people focus on I'm doing more, he's doing less. But you will go through seasons, you know, and there are seasons of marriage. But people don't want to focus on what those seasons are. Okay. We talk about love languages. We talk about all that. But have you ever heard of the 4 seasons of marriage? Okay. Spring, new beginnings, excitement, summer, strong feelings of vulnerability, fall, challenges and conflict, and winter, coldness and bitterness. Okay. I would say most people fall under the fall and winter. Okay. And you can't get through the fall and the winter, you ain't never gonna see spring. And divorce comes in the winter time. And so, have you ever heard of the 4 seasons of marriage? There's a whole book on it. I listened to the audiobook years ago, and it really opened up my mind as a wife and a mother. Okay. Y'all have to see that these are conversations that you have at the beginning when you talking to somebody. Okay. Not when you get the title of girlfriend, boyfriend, but when you are talking to somebody. Because then you know at the beginning, is this for me? Hmm? Should I stay? Is this a non negotiable? Okay. Do you guys feel like parenthood is a negotiable role? Can you opt in? Can you opt out emotionally, financially, spiritually? These are the foundational things in a relationship you need to talk about. Because, like I said, bringing a baby into a dynamic where everything's all good, you think you good, that baby girl, that baby, oh, it's gonna change some things because now you're on the baby time. Y'all was traveling, y'all was going on dates, you know, y'all was having y'all intimacy time. Now you're on the baby time. And for some people, when it comes to the seasons of marriage, relationships, that's where you're gonna see. With that baby, sometimes you're gonna be in fall and winter. And it's gonna challenge your relationship. Are you strong enough to get past the seasons? And ask yourself, what season are you in when it comes to your own marriage? Hmm? Let me pull up the book that I read so some of y'all could read it. The Forces of Marriage, The Secrets to a Lasting Marriage. I think I had listened to this on an audio book when I was me and my husband years ago, probably 10 plus years ago. We're on like a road trip or something. These are some of the things y'all should be doing in y'all relationships. Okay. When y'all go on trips together in the car, on the flight, y'all so busy buying them hardcover books and wondering why your man's, oh, I read the book and he haven't. Get your ass an audiobook. But this is the book I read, The 4 Seasons of Marriage. Okay. It's a quick little audiobook. If you got the Libby app, the library app, I think it was on there for free. Okay. Now he also wrote The 5 Love Languages, but nobody talks about the 4 seasons of marriage. Okay. And I wonder, looking at Nelly and Ashanti, what season of marriage do y'all think that they are in? Maybe it's that they're still in the excitement phase. Um, but when it comes to their relationship, it seems like Ashanti is okay with it. Could you be okay in your relationship with taking on more of the responsibilities of caretaking? Now, does that come also with some caveats? Like, yes, I am going to be with the kids more, but you got to be bringing in money. Is there so much focus on, I'm going to do this, but you got to do this, that we can't see that no matter what we're doing, long as it's pouring into the foundation of our marriage, even relationship, even if you're just parents, co-parenting, okay, do the different roles pour into the goal and the focus, which is the children? And I think we also have to talk about, of course, gender roles and cultural influences with parenting expectations. I feel like in celebrity culture, men are often not held accountable for parenting as much as women. Let me know if you agree. Okay, the men can be out there playing ball, um, on tour, while most of the time we see the women in the cut taking care of the kids, nannies taking care of the kids. Sometimes even if the women not really even taking care of the kids, sometimes it's the nannies. If you really want to, talk about it. But there's a societal script where women are expected to make it work while men can withdraw. Because at the end of the day, in a lot of relationship dynamics, it's on the woman to take care of the child while the man's like, I'm done with this relationship. I don't want to be here no more. So they out living their life. You in your little apartment, stressed out, hair falling out, depression, anxiety, trying to figure out how to take care of these kids by yourself. And sometimes it's also the men's. Nobody talks about that either. That sometimes the men are the ones when the mamas are like, I want to be in the streets. It's a hot girl summer. I want to be out with my friends. So now the man is at home, trying to take care of the kids or trying to see his kids. And the girl is just like, you cheated on me, you did me wrong, so you're not gonna see these kids. That's a whole nother story, y'all. Whole nother story. But in society, I think that men get off a lot easier with not taking on parental responsibilities. And do you think there has been as much rhetoric about this conversation as much as like, oh, it's just Nelly and Ashanti, we love them, so who really cares? Okay, who cares? Like, we just want them to be together. But when you go back to somebody also, are there conversations about what didn't work before? How's it gonna be better? Because a couple weeks ago, some girl on the internet was saying he was all up in her cat. But it could just be somebody out here for clout. But she seems very okay with him being maybe more of the emotional support, but not really the parental part. And to each his own, things in each relationship may not work for everybody. But is there emotional safety in this relationship, knowing your partner will show up during life altering changes like becoming parents? Is that needed here? Or is it okay? Like, we're in love, we just got married. I know he has adult children. I accept that. Long as I get my baby KK, long as I get mines. And do you guys think that the relationship can survive this kind of imbalance? When one partner resists responsibility, what does that lead to normally? Resentment, loneliness, emotional disconnection. Okay. A strong relationship must be able to hold hard conversations, accountability, and a shared vision. What is our shared vision together? Hmm? And ask yourself, have you ever wanted more from someone who kept emotionally pulling back? Do you believe your needs are valid, are validated, especially when planning for a future or a family? Are you ignoring red flags? And do we talk enough about green flags in relationships? We talk so much about red flags, but what do you guys find are some green flags when getting back together? For me, when I look at green flags and getting back in a relationship, mutual accountability, therapy, of course, maturity, shared values. What's really going to change this time? But so many people go back to their partners and not have a conversation about how do we end up here? How do we end up here? What is going to change? Are you so focused on just getting back together that those type of emotionally intelligent conversations, the vulnerable ones, the harder ones, get ignored? And then you wonder why in your, rekindling, as you're in the spring season of a relationship, a joyful, happy excitement, why it slowly crumbles. Why do we get to fall so soon? I thought we were supposed to be in like the spring, the happy season. Because your ass didn't talk about the problems. You just got caught up in that we're getting back together and telling everybody. But did you put in the work? Did you put in the work? Were there green flags? Or were there green flags that you wanted to see that weren't really there? That weren't really there. Okay. So I want you guys to take away from this video that it's important to explore the emotional readiness for co-parenting and share responsibility. Do you understand the seasons of a relationship? Spring, summer, fall, winter. Where are you at in your own relationship? And should we have another, a deeper video talking about the seasons of marriage, the seasons of relationships? Everybody talks about love languages, but the seasons of a relationship are something that we need to study, discuss, because y'all really don't know sometimes. Okay? Y'all really don't know. But of course, a baby brings happiness, it does bring joy. And maybe that's all that matters right now, is that she has love, support. Yes, he's not there in the nighttime. Yes, he's not going to do a lot of things these first couple of years, but I have a village around me. I have enough support in that area where with him, I can just focus on us being happy, both of our careers really blossoming, okay? And maybe have another baby, okay? But of course, I want to know you guys' thoughts. What do you guys think of this whole conversation? What'd you get from this video? Now, if you got to the end, put some stars in the chat to let me know. All right. But of course, I will see you guys in the next video. Tap in, tap in, tap into that chat because I'll be in there. All right. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.